Hello, I'm Bonnie Erbe. Welcome to TTC Extra. The saying goes, act like a lady, think like a man. How about thinking like a lady as well? Every day, women are proving they're a force in business. A new study finds women are just as, if not more, ambitious than men. 83% of women, compared with 74% of men, say they have a strong desire to advance to the next level. This research shows a majority of women are perfectly willing to sacrifice their personal lives and ask for promotion. So, Anushay, what does this say about the conservative saw, and maybe you guys can jump on me after this, but the conservative saw that the reason there aren't as many women in high places politically and in the business world is because women aren't as ambitious as men, and they would rather focus on the home front than on the corporate world.
I think it shows that that statement is completely unfounded. I think this is an issue not about ambition. I feel like ambition is asexual, but it's a question about the system. It's about the system, which is, you know, primarily always been stacked against women. It was created for a time when really only men went to the workplace. And now the majority of the workforce is young, educated women. And we need to start accommodating them. Corporate America needs to start accommodating women instead of women trying to accommodate the system that wasn't built to accommodate us in the first place.
Well, it's funny. I mean, I actually thought that word ambitious was just a terrible word to use here. I don't think anyone on the conservative side thinks that women aren't ambitious. It just sounds silly when we know that women are outpacing men educationally, increasingly, professionally, even in some cities,
but you still
earning more.
But I agree. Sabrina, you still hear it all the time from conservatives when we're talking about, you know, the pay gap, which of course conservatives don't really believe exists. And
I think it's smaller.
Okay, and then also in terms of why there aren't as many women CEOs, I can tell, you know, the stock response is women don't want to be CEOs.
That's what I was going to say. It's different. I think that there are a lot of women, and I think there are women on the left who say this. Patty Kay, Claire Shipman, who said, you know what, for a lot of women, getting like pretty high up is enough because it allows them to have the flexibility and the balance in their life that they are choosing, right? So some women say, I want to work, I want to have a career, but I also want to have some flexibility. And if I go all the way to the CEO level, that means I'm in the office, you know, 80 hours a week, and I just don't want that. And I think that's something we have to just get more comfortable with.
That's a great example of what I was saying earlier. The system was not created for women.
Yeah, but
we need more flex
this
hours.
Survey shows that that's not true.
I agree.
This survey shows that even with conditions that really militate against women, that they are as, quote, ambitious than men. People have been looking, those who don't want to see a reason endemic in corporate America or in discrimination, have fallen back on when women want to be what women have always been. Bonnie, it follows as night follows day that for decades now, women have been getting more education. When you have that kind of a movement of women in large numbers to education, it is logical that they'd want to use that education in the way men have always used it.
I agree. I'll let Francesca go, but I agree, actually.
So I don't really think it's about a lack of ambition, especially on the conservative side. I think it goes back to the having it all argument, which is what you were getting at, is how do you be a CEO at 80 hours a week and also have kids? And I just think a lot of women have chosen, particularly on the conservative side, to be at home and have families instead, not because they don't want to be in corporate America, but because there is a sense that you have to choose between the two.
Yeah, but let me just step in here for a second. I think you're all wrong. Because if women did not have children with a guy who wasn't going to do half the work, then the corporate world would be structured for them because they wouldn't be doing all the housework.
Exactly.
If they were doing half the housework and and child care.
Can I say something? I think if women could do it all, we would do it all. But we need some kind of a support. If you're going to fire me because my kid got sick, 8, 9 times, I don't know, during the month, but the husband doesn't get that, workplace culture is real. There's a lot of double standards that I think that we are not discussing.
I agree, but you know what's interesting is that it's McKinsey who did this study, who has actually already invested a lot of resources, and they are not alone. There's most of the large accounting firms and consulting firms have all done this, into attracting and retaining more women. And there was a great article in the Wall Street Journal about a year ago about McKinsey saying, you know what, we're losing talent because we need to accommodate those moms. Exactly. And they created a whole system to get those moms back in at some level. So I do think that the market is responding. responding. They recognize that women are valuable to the workforce. And I think some of this will sort itself out over time as companies realize
We
this.
need to segment these women. Women who are trying to get to be CEOs have already gone through a lot of turns and twists and layers. The problem does exist for younger women who are trying to climb that ladder so that they are CEO material. In fact, I was shocked that this survey found a shortage of people who wanted to be CEOs. I think that says something about corporate America for men and women.
I also think there's something, wrong with this survey. I mean, there was one line in it that said that they were flabbergasted to find that women are ambitious and they want to be CEOs and they want to be in these leadership positions. Someone needs to tell these survey makers it's 2014.
Right, yeah, they've been missing for about half a century. Thanks for watching TTC Extra. Whether you agree or think to the contrary, please join us next time.